Hi, I'm Anna from Silence3D. In this video, I'll show you how to install Mega Silent Pack for Wanhao E3 Plus by Silence3D. At first, what Silence3D actually is. It is an additional board, like this one, for your 3D printer, which will remove annoying noise produced by the X and the Y stepper motors. So, here we have an unupgraded 3D printer and the 3D printer with our Mega Silent Pack. So, the both 3D printers are running the same G-code. And I will test unupgraded 3D printer with our sound level meter. And it shows around 65 decibels. Now I'll turn this 3D printer off. And the annoying noise really is gone here. And I will test 3D printer with our Mega Silent Pack with sound level meter. And it's around 50 decibels. So it really is a silent 3D printer now with our Mega Silent Pack. This is Mega Silent Pack for Wanhao i3 Plus. Here we have Silence3D board for Wanhao E3 Plus. Main components are two TMC2130 stepper motor drivers. Here is output for YX and here is for XX. Here you connect 24 volts from printer's power supply. Be careful to connect black wire to ground and red wire to plus 24 volts. Here we have solderless 10 pins connector, which can be easy to insert on printer's mainboard. When we are installing 10-pin connector, we need these 3D printer parts for supporting mainboard. To connect Y motor to Silence3D board, we have this cable. For connecting to power supply, we have this red and black cable, and we also have two cables for communication between boards. Package also includes one zip tie, so you can manage all cables. For quieter printing, we added two Nocta fans and board which can be easy mounted on extruder and convert 24 volts from printer to 12 volts needed for Nocta fans. For installing our Mega Silent Pack, you will need hammer, screwdriver, USB cable that you receive with your 3D printer, hexagonal Allen key, and micro SD, which is smaller than 8 GB. If your micro SD is bigger than 8 GB, it will not work and you can damage your 3D printer. We need to inform you that you are upgrading your 3D printer at your own risk. We are not responsible for any damage caused by this product. First, we unplug 3D printer. Then we unscrew 6 screws with hexagonal Allen key. When we are done, we slide bottom cover and put it aside. Then we take 3D printed part and we put it under mainboard so we support it and prevent damage. Then we put 10-pin connector to another 3D printed part. We put 10-pin connector in mainboard with as much force as we can produce and help ourselves also with hammer until black plastic connector touches mainboard. After that, we take 3D printed parts away. Then we take Silence3D board and we connect black and red wire to power connector on board. You just plug wire in connector and push it in. Make sure you connect black wire to ground and red wire to 24 volts. If you connect it wrong, you may damage the board. Then you connect cable for Y-stepper motor you received in package. Now you need to remove protection from self-adhesive thermal conductive tape and you stick the board on 3D printer. Make sure you stick it well. Now you need to cut zip tie. Disconnect X and Y motor from the original board. You can put original short cable from Y-stepper motor aside. Original cable for X motor is long enough so you can connect it to Silence3D board. Now you connect Y motor. Then you need to connect board to power supply. Make sure you connect black wire to Y minus and red to Y plus. You need to connect two communication cables to mainboard. Red arrows on picture shows where pin 1 is. Make sure you connect pin 1 to pin 1 on mainboard. If you connect it wrong, you may damage the board. Now we need to download LCD firmware. We need to format micro SD card to FAT32 with 4096 bytes allocation unit size. Make sure you do not have something on SD card because you will lose all data on it. Then we go to www.silence3d.com/downloads and we scroll down to latest LCD firmware and download it on SD card. Now we need to extract it. Make sure on SD card are just folders 25 controls and do inset. Now we will prepare SD card so it can be easily inserted in LCD. This step is not necessary, but if you don't do it, you will need to unscrew LCD from 3D printer. So we take a piece of a tape. Make sure it is not wider than a micro SD. And with this piece of a tape, we can later easily eject SD card out of LCD. Now we need to insert micro SD card to LCD. Contacts need to be on side where PCB is. When we put it in, we need to push it in with Allen key or something small. It needs to click. Then you need to connect 3D printer to computer with USB cable and LCD will start uploading pictures. Don't unplug it in while different pictures are showing. Once it is done, turn 3D printer off and pull SD card out. First we go to silence3d.com/downloads and we scroll down to latest mainboard firmware. Download firmware for your 3D printer. If you don't know which mainboard you have, on the top of the page there is a link to list of mainboards. For uploading mainboard firmware, you need a program which can upload hex file to your 3D printer. We suggest that you upload it with Cura Wanhao edition. So you go to wanhao3dprinters.com and find latest Cura edition and download it. You need to install it, but we have already done that. Then you go to tab Machine and select Wanhao E3 Plus. You need to select the correct port. After that, you can upload our firmware. First, we need to unmount original fans. Then we replace it with Nocta fans. Those are high-quality fans that run much quieter and more reliable than the original ones. Do not screw it too much because you will pre-tension it and it will reduce lifetime of a fan. First, you need to unscrew the cover. Because Nocta fans are 12 volts, you will need to replace original PCB on Extruder with the board you received in package. Pin configuration on our PCB are the same as the original one. Connectors go from left to right: extruder motor, heater, temperature sensor, and X-axis limit switch. Then you have two 3-pin connectors for Noctua fans. To connect your fan 12 volts, connect fan that cool down extruder and is always on. To PWM 12 volt connect fan that cools down printed part and can be regulated by software. Then you connect main ribbon cable and screw cover back on. Thank you for listening, and we hope you will enjoy the silence.